I try to make it more painful. I just give myself a greater fear. I want to inoculate myself against judgment. I want to teach myself that if my heart's beating, boom, 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 it's a sign that I need to go do the thing. I don't want to live with regrets, so I imagine myself at 95 and just think, am I going to regret this? Because you very rarely regret the things done. It's the actions not taken because you were afraid. And so I don't want to be that.
Yeah, why do you think that most people don't fear regret over failure? Because that's something, it's a conversation that I have a lot with people, because I'm very much kind of the same way that you are in terms of, that's the biggest fear for me, is knowing, like thinking about myself getting to the end of my life and then just wishing that I had done this or done that or taken that chance that one time.
It's because it's a slow bleed.
Can you explain what you mean by that?
Yeah, because that regret is something that's going to happen every day for the next X number of years of your life. Like from now, if I'm 39 to 99, that's 60 years of my life.
Right.
But it's going to be a little bit of pain every day versus doing it and failing is massive pain.
Yeah.
And so on a daily, that massive pain of failure is bigger than the little bit of pain of regret. But if you accumulate all those days of regret and then bring it back to today, it actually ends up being way bigger. But people don't feel it because you just see this massive pain and you'll pick the one, you don't want to do that massive pain.
Right.
People won't do that. And so I try to imagine myself at 99 in my rocking chair. Now it's over, like I can't do it.
Right.
I don't have the energy, I can't chase that down. My mind is going. And now that's decades of regret. And I try to make it more painful.
Right. To live in that pain moment. Almost.
Yeah, and bring it back to today. So if you have a hangnail, it's going to hurt you. But then if somebody punches you in the arm, you forget about the hangnail.
Yeah, right.
And so what I want to do is punch myself in the arm with regret, make it more painful so then I don't feel this thing. And so I don't think you can be fearless. I just give myself a greater fear. Right? Yeah. That thing is scary. Failing is scary, right? That asking her out or your business tanking or whatever, that's real. That's a fear.
Yeah.
And I just want to give myself a bigger fear to force me into action.
Yeah, what do you think that that's like the biggest overarching way to overcome the fear of failure or the fear of almost like embarrassment? Like, hey, I don't want to take this chance because if I put myself out there and I give it 100% effort and I fail, what are people going to think about me? Like, it's almost this failure plus embarrassment combined. Is that the number one way to overcome that, through just like really thinking about the regret that you might feel?
I think that's the number one thing in the moment. Like if you're in the moment, like there's a girl out there that you want to ask out, and you're terrified that she might reject you, that's the number one thing in the moment to get you to go off and do it, right? Yeah. I think if you have a little more time to think about it, what I love doing is I want to teach myself, I want to inoculate myself against judgment. I want to teach myself that if my heart's beating, boom, 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 it's a sign that I need to go do the thing. Most of the things that we're afraid of doing are because of other people's opinions, right?
Yeah,
you're playing small because you're worried how somebody's going to judge you. You'll sing in the shower, but you won't sing on the street corner. You'll record a video, but you won't post it on YouTube, right? You want to do great things, but you're afraid of the reaction that's going to happen. So that if you can feel that, then it's, man, I don't want to live my whole life playing small because of somebody else's opinion of me. Yeah. Now, we got entrepreneurs who are watching. Entrepreneurs, we want to do different things. We want to change the status quo. There's a lot of people who want to protect the status quo. All those people who want to protect the status quo, they won't like you by default just because of what you represent. Without knowing you, they just don't like what you represent, so they're going to hate on you. Yeah,
you represent the idea of what they could be doing possibly if they were willing to put themselves out there.
Sure, you're taking stuff away from them. You know, they don't like that, so they hate you just by definition.
Right.
So if you want to go off and have a huge impact, you're going to get the bigger impact you want, the more people are going to line up against you who want to protect what currently is. Yeah. And so if you can't do something as simple as ask a girl out or sing on the street or something simple, then you're never going to do the big thing. Yeah. And so I see it as lifting weights. So I want to train myself that I do scary things, that I do things that when my heart beats, that's a sign you have to go do it. Yeah. So for example, if we're talking about recording a video in public, for me, the first time that was super scary. Taking out my video camera, not even a phone at the time, and just walking on the street and like, who is this crazy guy on the street filming himself? Right. I felt super awkward. And because
because this was before vlogging was like super popular.
Yeah. Yeah. The first one might have been, I don't know, 6 years ago, something like that. But because I feel the nervousness of it, then I have to go off and do it, just because. Even if it doesn't serve me, just because.
Right. The whole like, what is it? If you can't, you must, and if you must, you can. Type saying, like.
That I see as more like of responsibility. Like if you have talents, you have skills, then you have to go off and serve the world and share those gifts. What I'm talking about is I want to eliminate your opinion of me. I call it the Quincy Jones rule, because he had this great line where he says, not one drop of my self-worth comes from your opinion of me. And I want to get to that. Yeah. And I'll do things even that don't make sense, in that we're in a dance studio. I own this studio. Yeah. We had a bachata dancing team that won a local dance competition.
Oh, awesome.
And they're mostly girls, so I took them out to a nail salon to get their nails done, celebrate the victory. And then one of the girls joked, hey, Evan, you gonna get your nails done? And the first reaction is, I'm not gonna get, no, that's not how I express myself, which is the only real answer. It's not how I express myself.
Right.
But also lingering in the back of my head is, I'm scared.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna get judged for it. Right. How many YouTube videos? Like, how long do nails last? 2 weeks? How many videos are gonna make? Right? And most of the people who watch my content are new people, right? 80% of my traffic, they're new people. Wow. They're not my subscribers. They're brand new people. That's a healthy, growing channel. And so you might tell your buddy, go watch Evan's video, and then I'm here with nails, right? Like, but because that was even part of the reason, then I had to do it.
Yeah.
And so I got my nails painted. Has nothing to do with...
It's just about creating the habit. That's not the thing that's going to drive you to the next level of success. It's just about creating the habit to constantly be putting yourself in the situation to where you just don't care about what people think.
Right. Anytime you feel yourself backing down because of somebody else's opinion, that's a sign to go. You have to do it.
Love it. Yeah.
And even though it seems unrelated, in that whether it's dancing on the street or filming or painting your nails or taking a dance class or whatever it is, the fact that you were afraid of it and you did it builds you to the next level.
Yes.
Because it's better to not even catch it. I think people play small by default. I think we're so afraid of other people's opinions by default that we never catch it. And it's better to be ignorant and not catch it than to catch it, know you're afraid, and back down. Because now you're teaching yourself that story.
Right.
I'm afraid, so I don't.
Now you're creating the opposite habit.
Yeah, it's a negative spiral.
Right.
You're telling yourself you suck, that you're afraid of things, and then you don't follow. Even if you're posting like, hey, look at me on Instagram, right? Yeah. And then you go home and you know that's a fake win. Like, it doesn't count until it's hard.
Right.
And so when you can learn to tie your self-esteem to the effort, to be proud of your effort, not the winning, I think that's where self-love comes from. That's where self-confidence comes from. That's where self-respect comes from. And then less of your self-respect comes from what other people think about me.
And how important are those things playing into your career as an entrepreneur, as a content creator, whatever it is that you're doing? Self-trust, self-confidence.
I think it becomes the whole game, because if you just want to photocopy your life every day over and over again, then it's no problem. It's great. You know how to do that. You're in your comfort zone. Awesome. And if that's probably not your audience, right? But that could be some people. Awesome. But if you want growth and you want change, you want to be an entrepreneur, and you want to be doing something different, then that requires courage. And I think humans are built to serve. I think you're either built to serve the world. You and I, we want to help a lot of people with our skill sets. And some people, like my wife, are built to serve the 25 closest people. Family, don't have a huge mission, but just the closest family and friends. But either way, you're built to serve. If you're not happy, you're not serving. So you want to serve, but you're also afraid of judgment. That becomes a problem, because serving requires other people. But if you're so worried about what they think of you, then you never do anything. You got your foot on the gas and the brake at the same time. So you have to go off and serve and release the control over what some people will think about you, so that you can actually drive the car forward. Yeah. So if you can't do some basic things, if every move that you make, like you're here flying up from Vegas to film this video, if getting on camera is scary to you, if interviewing somebody face to face in another country is great, like, do it. Yeah. Right. You have to do it. Yeah. You don't want to teach yourself that you play small. And it's not what your friend thinks or what I think or my guy thinks. It's like, you at night, when you go home, when you sleep, are you proud of yourself for what you did today? Yeah. And if you can answer yes, you're going to do great things. And if inside your own head you know you played small, it's going to destroy you.
You said something earlier. You said, if you're not happy, you're not serving. Can you expound on that?
Yeah, I think 99.999% of people are built to serve. I think we get happiness by helping other people with what we can help them with. I think there's a tiny percentage of people who enjoy killing people. They got brain chemicals kind of messed up. But most people aren't like that. Right. You know? Thankfully, we wouldn't be here.
In general,
we want to, like, think of your greatest moments. They involve somebody else. Think of your happiest, most proud moments of all time. They involve somebody else. You've helped. The winning for you, the great moments won't just be receiving some check or making a lot of money. It's like, how are you going to use that to help somebody else? So we're wired to serve. Just not everybody's wired to serve the world. So you have to understand your style. For people watching this show, they're probably wired to serve the world. Entrepreneurs, we want to make a big impact, a big change, a big difference. Yeah. But not everybody is built that way. Some people just, they want to serve the closest people, friends, family. Yeah. You know, my wife is still in touch with people from her grade 1 in China. You know, like she keeps in touch with people. I go, wow, well, she's a master networker, I guess, too. But I don't care that much about people like that. I want to help the world. There was a really interesting question that somebody asked me, like, would you rather? Would I rather have 100,000 people really understand my message and get it, or my son? And I picked 100,000 people.
Wow.
And my wife picked the son.
Wasn't happy.
Right? Now I don't know what. No, she was not happy. She gets it, but it's just a different approach. Right. Now, where does it? I don't know. What's the number? Is it 1,000? Is it 5,000? Right, yeah. I don't want to go down that slippery slope. but that idea of, you know, ultimately, if my wife really needed something from me, I would be there for her. But at the end of the day, I need to be free to be doing the work that I love doing. Yeah. And so you have to find a way to serve. And I believe that your purpose comes from your pain. So whatever the thing you struggled the most with, the most painful moment of your life of all time, your purpose for the rest of your life will be helping other people who are currently going through that pain and struggle. Yeah, love that, man. So, go ahead. No, go ahead. So, like, I struggled so much as an entrepreneur. Yeah. I was making $300 a month. I felt alone. I was too embarrassed and ashamed to tell my friends how much I was struggling. I felt just worthless as a human. I mean, I wasn't suicidal that far down, but I felt it was the worst moment of my life. Really, like, imposter-like as well. Yeah, and tell my friends, like I'm an entrepreneur, but telling my friends that I'm living the entrepreneur life, I can't come hang out with you because I'm busy grinding, right? Meanwhile, it's the 20 bucks. But not seeing it, yeah, exactly. I can't afford the 20 bucks that's going to be for pizza and beer. That's why I'm not going deep down, right? And but you don't want to admit that. Of course. Because you're the entrepreneur. And I made it harder on myself, like I should have. They would have been understanding. They might have razzed me a bit, but they would have been understanding. It's my own fault for not being more open with that. Right. But I didn't know enough. I'm 19, you know, I just getting started. Yeah. And so because I struggled so much, now for the rest of my life, I'm going to be helping entrepreneurs. If you have a podcast or interview show and want me to be a guest on it, I have 2 options for you. There's a link right there next to me. Go click it, and I look forward to being a guest on your show.